Hey guys, welcome back. Wanted to show you a few things that I've acquired over the last 4 to 6 months. I got these from China, eBay, and Amazon. I tried to stay off of Etsy because we know that they're fakes there. Wanted to show you the difference between some of the real ones and the fake ones and how good the fakes are really getting. They passed the weight test, the magnet test. The only thing that they can't pass, of course, is the sigma, but I wanted to show you. I'm not going to go how to tell the difference between real versus fake. We can do that in another video. You can see there's a lot here. Some of them are real, some of them are fake. So we're going to go and remove all of the ones that were in the plastic capsules. We're going to remove those so we can handle them, weigh them by hand, see how everything checks out. So now with the magnet, you can see that a few of these are attracted to a magnet, which obviously tells us that it has a ferrous or steel type of base metal. The ones that are in the assay cards, nothing. So the Credit Suisse, those are probably the most faked out there. And you can see we've got magnet. They are magnetic. They all have different serial numbers. Something else to note. So obviously those that are not magnetic have a copper or silver or some other kind of base, probably not silver. You can see, as I said, all different serial numbers. You can see different text. The font is different. It's also not straight. It's not in the same spot. And here's a real one. Big difference in size. So in the card, which weighs about 5 grams, you can see that the weight, if you subtract 5 grams, it's 31.1. It's really hard to find that information on the internet, but obviously the first one, quite light. We're looking for 31.1 grams. That one's pretty close, a little bit heavy. So if you were just going on weight alone, that could be passable. That one as well. That's another one that's light. So I bought all these from different sellers. I didn't buy them from the same one. That's why we have different looking serial numbers and so on. So that one's along the same lines too. And our Perth Mint one, same deal. You can see the size difference is just quite noticeable. But look at the edges too, and the fine text. That one's pretty clear. The real one's on the right, the fake one's on the left. Here's all of them. So the edges are kind of rough. And then these are some others that I picked up here. It's supposed to be anti-counterfeiting, that background, and it's actually pretty clear. And then here's another one. Fairly clear text. If you're just looking at that, wouldn't see any issues. If you look at the edges, you see rough around the edges, literally. It's a kind of a rough cut, especially this one right here. Oh, and I didn't have the video of it. So on to the Johnson Matthey. Number one, the bar on the right doesn't have a serial number. There are different variations of this, but look at the thickness difference. The one on the left is real. It is 1 ounce. It's much thinner. So we're looking for around 31.1. That's pretty close, within the margin of error of my cheap little $10 scale. 32.02. So it's on the heavy side. It's thicker. It doesn't have a serial number. The color is off just a little bit. You can see the camera doesn't quite pick it up, but it is gold. It looks silver on camera. So let's test it on the Sigma. Right where it needs to be. That's real gold. So on the Sigma, when it immediately makes it go back to say remove sample, generally that tells me, even without using a magnet, that it's magnetic, because it does not like steel. It'll immediately throw something off on the sensor where it doesn't work. So big warning signs for this one. I would call this one not a very good fake. For starters, with no serial number, that's warning sign number 1. But when they try to shoot for the weight instead of the size, they're always going to be thicker because copper or steel is not as dense as gold. So checking the other ones, they all do the same thing. Onto the Perth Mint ones. So the ones in the cards are not magnetic, but the one that came out of the card is magnetic. Let's check the weight. 31.67. It's a little heavy. But again, if you're just going for putting it in your hand, feeling it, it feels right. So in the cards here, the 2 that are in the teal cards on the bottom, I purchased those as movie props, air quotes. That's what they called them when I purchased them. So the others, you can see the weights somewhere around 37, 38. And then that one there is heavier. They're 40.086. So flipping them over, looking at serial numbers, it looks like we've all got different serial numbers. You have different text that the serial numbers were printed with. So the 2 on the top are the real ones. You can see that the text is much smoother. It doesn't look like it's printed with a dot matrix type of printer. I know that the older ones were printed that way, so that again, that kind of rules out just simply looking at the fonts. The black one starts with a C. The teal one does not have a number or a letter in front of it, but the fakes all do. So the fake has a C in front of it as well. So you look at the edges, look at the finish. The one that's out of it, obviously different size, doesn't match up at all. So that's an easy fake. The others here, they use some sort of acid wash to get that finish. And it's supposed to be hard to replicate in detail. Looks pretty close to me. The color looks the same. The text, everything, very, very good fake. The size, everything. They're planning on you not taking these out of the cards, so that's why you can't strictly rely on the weight. Furthermore, it's hard to find on the internet any official weight of the cards. So I'm sure if that information was out, it wouldn't be that hard to find. You have one here, you just open it up and weigh it without the bar. I'm not going to do that because these are my personal gold pieces. I'm not going to open them. But they also do have anti-counterfeit anti-tampering measures. When you open it up, it will show void on the sticker on the card when you open it. So here's the thickness again. So the fake again is slightly thicker. So the real one's on the left, the fake one's on the right. You can see that there is a little bit of a difference there. The color is different too on the actual card, but that may just be from age or exposure to light. But there's a difference there. The background behind the swan there. The real one being on the left, the fakes on the right. So let's check it on the Sigma, see what it says here. So we're after 99.9% gold. That one's spot on. That's real gold. Simple as that. So this one, not showing. We may adjust it and see if it's got something else. We know it's not magnetic. That one is, and so of course it goes right back to remove sample. So that's a fake. It's the wrong size, different color. So let's check 91.7%, 22K. Let's try 90%. Oh. So you could almost fool the Sigma here. If it's showing 90%, that's telling me that it's probably a pretty thick layer of gold plating. And we may save these for another video and see if we can dive into those, figure out what's inside those. Not magnetic. It's confusing the sigma. Not as pure gold, but it is showing that it does have 90% gold, which I know that's not the case because I paid about $10 a piece for these. May have a thick gold plating on them. Trying it as an American Eagle, and it's passing there too. So something's up with those. Let's get a real American Eagle there. You can see. We're going to try to dive into those and see if we can figure out what those are made of. So the other two Perth bars, this one, it's acting similar. There's the real one, of course. The other real one. So as 90%, you can see it gets in the middle of those brackets just a little bit there. So it's probably in the same line as the other two there, where it's got a thick plating of gold on it, most likely. I highly doubt that this is real. I think that one I paid $3 from Aliexpress or Alibaba. So then the AppMax, this is a fake one as well. I couldn't find the real one. I was trying to find the real one to purchase to show you guys for the video. It was not available at the time of making this. It's not magnetic. AppMax is an American Precious Metals exchange. They have their own bars made for them. I'm not sure if they specifically make them. You can see 99%. Doesn't pass. So let's change it and see if it goes to the 90% also. Does not look like it. So it's not nearly as good of a fake as the others. We'll try 91%. 22K. Oh, it got in the brackets a little bit there, so maybe it's even thicker. Wow. So yeah, we'll dive into those and see what we can find in a later video. Yeah, that's interesting. So on to the eBay ones. These are also made by the Perth Mint. You can see just the size of the Perth Mint Australia at the bottom there. They're different, but the bar itself looks pretty identical. Getting to serial numbers, E, and it has a serial number. Everything matches up there. The bar on the left is the real one. That's pretty good. Maybe differences in the edges. That's about it. I would call that a pretty good looking fake. Oh, and then we're back to the thickness again. Look at how thick that is. The one on the left is the real one. The one on the right is fake. So again, they make up for weight with thickness. So that's all it takes really, is if you have one real bar in your hand, or if you have even one, you can easily spot a fake just on the thickness. Because if they're not overly thick, then they're too large of size, height, and width, not just thickness. So looking on the Sigma again, there's our real one, and the fake one doesn't pass. I understand and realize not everybody has access to a Sigma, but if you're unsure, if you're buying from a private seller, go to your local coin shop or jeweler. They will most likely have a Sigma, and they will, if they're not incredibly busy, you can just go in and say, hey, can you check this for me on your Sigma? Most will be glad to do so. And as I said, if you're buying it from a private seller, you can have them meet you at that shop and say, hey, I just want to check it, make sure, because otherwise, these machines are about $1,000. Said I do enough gold buying and selling where it justified the price for doing this. So on to the 1900s gold, $20 gold pieces. So obviously the two on the right are real, and they're worn. They're a much darker color. There's an American Eagle, just for reference. The two on the far left, those are clear fakes. They're not the right size. They don't look the part. So 33.43 is the official number of what these should weigh. So with some wear on it, it's a little bit lighter. Yep. We're pretty where it needs to be for those. So 33.43. Let's see what these ones look like. 17.92, almost half the weight that they should be. And you can, obviously I can't explain it on camera, but they are extremely light feeling. So they're the right size, they're the right thickness. Even these overly large ones are still light. I'm just going to guess that those are probably steel. We'll check in a minute. And of course, in the holder, in the capsule, that one is heavier. So American Eagle, checking on the Sigma. You can see it's spot on. Checking them all as American Eagles, nothing. So let's run it down to 90%. The real ones, right where it needs to be. This one, you can get it in to show every now and then between the brackets, so it's probably a pretty thick layer of gold. These other two didn't pass. On to silver. So we have two Scottsdales, a Silvertown, and a Johnson Matthey. I tried to get a Johnson Matthey and a Silvertown in a short time and couldn't get them. But Silvertown, those are some of the most faked silver bars out there. So be careful with those. If you buy those from an individual seller, the magnet test, you can see that 3 of them are magnetic. So that obviously tells us right away that those are fake because they have a ferrous base metal underneath them. So Scottsdale, it's another one that gets faked quite a bit. So if you're buying these from an individual, I would very much use a lot of caution. So 31.1 is what we're looking for, and they're all kind of heavy. Yeah, they're all, well, that one's actually just slightly light. They're all close. So if you were just going to hold these in your hand, just going on weight, you wouldn't tell the difference. So the one on the right is the real one, as you saw in the Sigma there. These others, not going to pass. There you go, guys. I just wanted to share and show you how good that some of these fakes are getting, and a little bit of how to spot them. So if you like this, please smash the like button, comment down below, and of course consider subscribing. Trying to grow this channel. Love to see 1,000 subscribers. Thanks, guys.